"Don't let go," she whispered, gripping my hand so tightly that I forgot the lie we had just told. Across the sidewalk, the man who had been following her stopped smiling. He looked at our joined hands, then at her face, and suddenly all the confidence disappeared from his eyes. I had called my neighbor my girlfriend to make him leave her alone. I never imagined those 3 words would uncover a secret neither of us was ready to face. My name is Daniel, and until that evening, Maya had been simply the neighbor who lived 2 doors down. We exchanged packages, borrowed sugar, and complained about the elevator. She was quiet but never cold, the kind of person who remembered everyone's birthday but forgot to buy herself lunch. I had always noticed the way she hurried home after work, especially on Thursdays, when she checked behind her before unlocking her door. I thought it was a habit. I was wrong. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional and inspiring stories like this, make sure to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories of kindness, hope, and humanity. It started on a rainy Thursday. I was carrying groceries toward our apartment building when I saw Maya standing beneath the awning. A man in a gray jacket stood several feet away, pretending to study his phone. Maya noticed me and immediately walked toward me. "Daniel," she said, too brightly, "you're late." I blinked. "Late for what?" She glanced at the man. "Our date." For half a second, I thought she was joking. Then I understood. She needed help. I smiled and played along. "Right. Our date. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten." The man approached. "Maya, we need to talk." She stepped closer to me. "I'm busy." "He won't protect you forever." Something changed in her expression. Fear flashed across her face before she buried it. I put an arm lightly around her shoulders. "She said she's busy." The man laughed. "Who are you?" I answered without thinking. "Her boyfriend." He stared at us, then walked away. I expected Maya to laugh with relief. Instead, she took my hand. "Don't let go." Her fingers were ice cold. "Maya, what is happening?" "Please. Just walk." We entered the building and kept walking until we reached the stairwell. Only then did she release my hand. "I'm sorry," she said. "You don't have to apologize." "Who was he?" She looked down. "His name is Aaron. He used to work with my brother." "Used to?" "My brother died 6 months ago." The words landed heavily. Maya explained that her brother, Ethan, had been an investigative journalist. Before his death, he had been researching a company accused of hiding dangerous chemical leaks. Ethan had left Maya a small metal key and one warning: "If anything happens to me, never trust Aaron." I stared at her. "And that man has been following you?" "For 3 weeks." "Why didn't you call the police?" "I did. They said there wasn't enough evidence." "He never threatens me directly. He just appears." She pulled the key from a chain around her neck. "Ethan told me this opens a locker at the old train station. I was supposed to go tomorrow." "Then you're not going alone." She looked surprised. "Why would you help me?" "Because you asked me not to let go." For the first time that night, she smiled. The next morning, we went to the station. The locker was old and covered with dust. Inside was a flash drive, a photograph, and a handwritten note. Maya unfolded the paper. "If you're reading this, Aaron knows about the evidence. Trust Daniel." She looked at me. "How did he know your name?" "I don't know." The flash drive contained recordings, photographs, and documents showing that Ethan had discovered falsified safety reports. But there was something worse. One recording featured Aaron arguing with Ethan days before his death. "You can't publish this," Aaron said. "I already sent copies." "Then you've signed your own death warrant." Maya covered her mouth. I reached for her hand. This time, she held mine first. We took everything to Detective Lewis, an officer Ethan had trusted. He listened without interrupting. By afternoon, Aaron was arrested, but the story still had one unanswered question: who had helped him? That evening, Detective Lewis called. "There's something you need to know," he said. Someone inside the company has been monitoring Maya's phone. Maya went pale. Who? We're still investigating. Then her phone rang. The screen showed Ethan's old number. Maya froze. That's impossible. I answered on speaker. Static filled the room. Then a man whispered, Maya, if Daniel is with you, don't trust him. The call ended. She stared at me. For a moment, doubt passed between us like a cold wind. Daniel, she whispered, why did Ethan write your name? I honestly don't know. Detective Lewis suddenly asked, did you ever meet Ethan? I shook my head. Maya looked confused. But then I remembered something. Wait. 6 months ago, before Ethan died, I found a package outside my door. It had no name. Inside was a newspaper article about the company. Do you still have it? Lewis asked. I did. Back at my apartment, we found the article. Written across the back in Ethan's handwriting were 4 words, ask the neighbor. Maya stared at me. Maybe he didn't mean you, she said. Maybe he meant someone who lived near him. Then I remembered an elderly tenant named Mrs. Carter, who had lived beside Ethan's old apartment. She had once told me Ethan came to her late one night, frightened. We found her that same evening. She listened quietly, then opened a drawer. Ethan left this with me. Inside was another flash drive. He said if Maya ever came here with Daniel, I should give it to you. My heart stopped. The drive revealed the truth. Ethan had discovered that Aaron was not acting alone. A senior executive was responsible for ordering the cover-up. But Ethan had also learned that someone inside the investigation had been leaking information. Detective Lewis watched the final file and slowly lowered his eyes. The traitor was another officer. Lewis immediately called his department. Within hours, the officer was detained. Maya sat beside me on the station bench, exhausted. I'm sorry you got pulled into this. I smiled. You didn't pull me anywhere. You could have walked away. I almost did. She looked at me. But you didn't. No. She reached for my hand. Why? I thought about that rainy sidewalk, the fear in her eyes, and the tiny sentence that had changed everything. Because when you said, don't let go, I realized you weren't asking me to pretend to be your boyfriend. You were asking someone to stay. Her eyes filled with tears. I was. The following week was harder than either of us expected. Aaron's arrest did not make the fear disappear. Maya still checked the street before leaving work, and I noticed she stopped sleeping with her phone beside the bed.